Hello, 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 and
Hello.
welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. We are glad to be back this week. We apologize about the unplanned absence last week. We had a family emergency, but we're glad to have your grace and support. So we're glad to be back, though,
Yes.
and things are settling with the emergency we had last week. So we're all good. But we're glad to have you all here, and thanks for joining us for Dina and Lydia and all of our other regulars. We've got all of our friends on Instagram as well. So we are glad to be back, and we are looking forward to another really great topic.
Yep.
Looking forward to the discussion that we all have, and I'm trying to. We didn't actually have my water, so I'm having to. So if we get thirsty, we have to use this. But if
Hello, Linda.
Yes, glad to have you all here, Linda, too. So, if you want to maybe introduce our topic, then
Yes.
maybe we can get started.
Yes. Tonight we're talking about the truth about slow progress because sometimes we feel like we should lose very quickly
Hmm.
and see tons of progress very quickly. And that is sadly not the reality of it. So we're going to talk about why slow progress is okay and honestly best.
Thanks, Crystal. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, we all love losing weight really fast. Love seeing that scale come
Mhm.
down really quickly. And to be honest, at the beginning of our journey, when we were really at our highest, my highest was 455. Though that weight really
Yeah.
came off pretty quick to begin with.
We lost about 50 pounds in the first like 2 or 3 months, and we were like, we're gonna lose this so fast. 6 years later, I'm not only, but like I've hit 100 pounds.
Hmm.
So, you know,
And I'm down to I'm down 125 pounds.
but
So
it's taken us 6 years.
yes, so that's something we're going to be talking about today, and kind of the reasons why it takes a little longer, and sometimes also the reasons why it might be better for it to come off a
Hmm.
little bit more slower too. So we'll talk all about those things, and just it's very understandable how
Yeah.
it can be frustrating to not lose anything, or it to be slow, or just want it to be fast. We live in a
Hmm.
society that just wants everything instant gratification.
Yeah, and the truth is, all of our bodies are different, and there are some people they do lose fast. I have a friend; she lost over 100 pounds in a year, and she did it the healthy way, but her body, like, she just lost it.
Hmm.
Whereas, like we said, it's taken us 6 years to lose 100 pounds. So, like,
Hmm.
all bodies are different. Everybody has different medical needs.
Oh
Everybody
yes.
has different issues that could cause it to be slower or faster.
Mhm.
So there's nothing wrong with you if your progress is slower than somebody else.
Absolutely. So we all know that fast results are exciting, but sustainable results usually come from consistent habits
Hmm.
that build over time. And the goal isn't just to lose weight. Now, that's kind of our primary goal, is to lose weight, but our ultimately our main goal is to become healthier. And that takes time. We've got years and years, sadly decades of unhealthy habits we
Yeah.
kind of have to break. So that is going to take time. So, becoming the kind of person who can maintain the healthier lifestyle long term ultimately is our goal. So, it's going to take a little bit longer. So, we know that you've felt discouraged sometimes with the scales only move. I've only lost 1 pound. We felt that before
Yeah.
too. Dang it, I've only lost half a pound. But that's half a pound, that 0.2 pounds, the quarter of a pound or whatever, that's still success.
And it adds up.
It does add up over time, and we've all thought, this is taking too long. Um, our journey has been a long one. Like she had mentioned,
Hmm.
this recent journey has been about 6 years right after she had Kathleen. It's kind of when we started
Hmm.
this recent journey.
Yes, and sadly, a lot of us, like, we expect the gain, like the gain happened over years and years and years and years,
Hmm.
but we expect the weight loss to happen in 30 days.
Hmm.
And that's not the reality. Like we said it before, you did not put it on in one day, you're not going to take it off in one day. And the opposite happens too. You didn't lose all the weight in one day, so one day is not going to mess everything up either. Like they're both true, but it took a long time to gain that weight, and it's also going to take, sadly, a long time to lose it. And it's a lifelong journey, and it's something that we have to work towards, and it's something that's not easy
Hmm.
because it takes work pretty much the rest of your life. And like Linda mentioned, slow and steady wins the race, and that's absolutely correct.
Hmm. Absolutely. Um, So let's take a look at a couple things. So slow progress is really ultimately the most sustainable. The times where we've lost really fast, like in our previous diets, because we mentioned we've done yo-yo dieting, we've gone up and down, we've
Mhm.
lost the weight and then gained it back, and all those times that we did those were quick losses, but
Mhm.
they were quick gains again as well because we weren't building those sustainable habits.
Yes.
It takes time to build these new
Mhm.
habits. We talked about our in previous weeks, and we've had um our friends mention stacking habits. That takes a little bit of
Mhm.
time.
Yes. And Rhonda said she's so happy to see you live. Never knew there was such a thing for healthy. Hopes for more. Yes, we are here every single Tuesday night.
Barring some
Yeah.
unforeseen
Like last week we
circumstances.
were not here, but most Tuesday nights. And if we're not here, usually somebody else will be here, but last week was so last minute, it just wasn't possible.
Mhm.
But usually somebody is here on Tuesday nights. At what time is it? 7:30.
7:30
I've been doing this for
Central.
like 2 years. You'd think I would know by now.
Yep, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, and all those other times. We know other time zones exist,
Yes.
even though we only really think about the one we're in a lot of times.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
we are here pretty much
Mhm.
every Tuesday.
Yes, so we hope to see you here more.
Absolutely, Rhonda. And also, since you're new to these lives, we have the previous versions. There's a ton of videos available on the YouTube channel for Healthy, as well as even more because the YouTube videos were more recent, like maybe six
Mhm.
months. But there's even more history. Like Courtney said, we've been doing this for about 2 years. All of our audio podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. So feel free to take a listen to some
Mhm.
of our previous ones too, but keep joining us for Tuesday nights.
Yes. But like he said, habits take time to build. Why can I not say that word? Habits take time to build. And your body and your mind both need time to adjust. It's not something that's going to happen immediately for either your body or your mind. I still have problems where like I go back to almost 400-pound Courtney in my brain. It takes so much time to adjust. When I'm shopping, I still sometimes shop for 3X and 4X clothes, and I'll get
Mhm.
home and be like, why is this so big? Because I'm not that size anymore. It takes so much time for your body and your mind to adjust.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned before, we have lifelong habits. Habits that we had from when we were kids, eating when we're bored, eating when we're anxious, all those types of things. And we have previous topics about how to overcome some of those, eating when you're bored and whatnot.
Mhm.
But we have years and years of habits to break, and so that's something that's going to take time to, and you can't undo them all at once. But also, a lot of times, those big losses come from crash dieting. You're cutting out too many of your food groups. You're cutting out all your favorite ones. You're cutting out maybe
Mhm.
all carbs, or you're taking out all the life and the joy out of your diet, or you're pushing your body too hard with exercise. You're forcing yourself to do too
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
You're punishing yourself for the food that you ate yesterday. Those types of things. So those crash diets, the extensive exercise, those are not sustainable.
Yeah.
We talk about how just earlier, Linda mentioned slow and steady wins the race. If we go for a sprint, like if I go running, I'm only going to maybe be able to keep up that pace for 2 or 3 minutes,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to be spent, and then I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes trying to catch my breath, and odds are I might just stop altogether.
Mhm.
Whereas when I go at a slower pace, like for example, when I go for a hike, I can go for a hike and I'm going probably 2.5 to 3 miles per hour, and I can go for 5 or 6 miles,
Mhm.
which is pretty
It's
darn
a pretty good hike.
good. Granted, I didn't do all that at once, which is again the slow and steady thing. But I can go 2 or 3 hours, 4 or 5, 6 miles on the hike at a slower pace, and it's better for my body than if
Mhm.
I were to go running for 5 minutes, if that, and then just quit.
Yeah.
Same goes for the dieting. If you go really hard, cut all the good stuff out, and go really hard on the diet or the exercise rather, your body's just going to wear out. You're going to get tired
Mhm.
of it. You're going to
Yeah.
be tempted to overeat. You're going to want to have all those things that you miss, that you crave, which is why we talk about including some of the things you love along with some of the things you need, so you're not too tempted to go overboard.
Yeah. And like he said, like sometimes like when you try to do so much at once, it takes all the life out and all
Mhm.
the joy. And
It's not a way to live.
yes, and it's hard to maintain that way. Like if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to keep doing it.
Mhm,
That's why it's very important when it comes to exercise, find something you like. It might take trial and error. It took
mhm,
us a long time to find exercises that we look forward to, and there are still times that we're like, I don't want to go. But trial and error to find things, find healthier foods that you love, healthier, like find exercises you love. It takes trial and
mhm,
error sometime, but finding those things you can fit into your day while still enjoying them, it makes it so much easier to maintain and
mhm.
to maintain the weight that you are losing.
Absolutely. And then we've talked about this in previous podcasts, but the all or nothing trap, you have to be perfect. That's when you're basically setting yourself up for
Hmm.
failure,
Yeah.
to try to be perfect. We know that we're not perfect. Courtney has the rule in her life, the 80-20 rule. If you're on it as much as possible, 80% of the time, you can enjoy yourself a little bit on the
Yeah.
20% of the time and still have that slow and steady.
Yes, I would rather have my Reese's, have like yesterday I had a Chick-fil-A fried chicken sandwich. I'd rather have those things occasionally and lose slower than lose real fast and not have any of the things that I love.
And then not only are you not having other things you love and you're losing real fast, then you get it all right back.
Yes, because you go to those things you love eventually.
Absolutely. I don't think I'm sure there's probably some people out there with the ironclad willpower that can do it, but it's not the average everyday
Yes.
person. It's not me.
There's a guy that used to pastor at our church actually. He would eat one M&M a day. I'm not even joking. One M&M a day, but it would keep him from eating other M&Ms. But he had that. I
Mhm.
couldn't do that. You give me M&Ms, I'm going to have more than one.
Absolutely. So, give yourself grace. If your plan is miserable, you'll eventually stop it.
Mhm.
And then the sustainable habits will beat extreme motivation. So
Yes.
building those habits, we talked about, we're not always motivated, but we still always are consistent. We're pushing for the
Yes,
consistency.
the best plan is the one that you can still do 6 months from now, the one
Mhm,
that you still want to do 6 months from now. And like we said, and we keep drilling this in tonight, it might cause you to lose slower because it is a little bit more enjoyable and you're
mhm.
adding some of those things that people don't consider healthy.
Yep.
But it is something that you can do for a long period of time without wanting to give up and just
hmm
throw in the towel.
Yep. So we mentioned in maybe a month ago how to lose weight when you love food. We love food.
We love food.
And we eat good. We eat things that we love.
We had that like a massive burger tonight. It was a turkey burger, but it was a burger and mac and cheese.
Mhm.
Like that was our
And we
dinner.
still made it work. I find this a lot more enjoyable. I'm not dreading, mealtime.
Mm-mm.
Um, we legitimately enjoy the food we
And
eat.
then our 6-year-old eats the same foods too.
Yes,
So she's
nine
like,
times out of 10.
yeah, sometimes we give her, she's a 6-year-old. Sometimes she has her peanut butter and jelly instead. But 9 times out of 10, she's eating the healthier options we have because they don't taste like your typical healthy foods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like she mentioned, this is so enjoyable that the slow and steady pace that we're losing, we're enjoying our life. We're not miserable, and
Hmm.
we're getting healthy doing it.
Yeah.
So that's ultimately what's going to
Hmm.
make this sustainable for you.
Yes. And the slower approach, it also gives you time to learn things like portion control and meal planning. And it can make you more aware of like your emotional eating. Like if you're going slower and giving your time to get used to these things, it
It
helps.
helps you build a better routine. It helps
Hmm.
you realize when you're more likely to overeat, and so
Hmm.
you're more hyper aware of the situations. You're not going to overcome all the situations, but doing the slow and steady, it
Yes.
helps you learn the new boundaries.
Yes, because at the end of the day, these skills is what's going to help keep the weight off. Because the thing is, if you know how to lose weight, that's great.
hmm
But if you don't know how to maintain and you
hmm
don't know how to keep these things up, you're just going to gain it all back, which is awful.
hmm Yep. So when we went through our plateau, we had about a 2-year plateau, which it's still, I would say,
It's still a
a
win.
win because we didn't gain it all back. But you need to build these better habits slowly so that when you get to your goal
Mhm.
weight, like when we get to our goal weight, whether it's 2 years from now or 6 years from now, we know we'll have the habits and the lifestyle changes that we need to be able to keep it off and keep at a healthy
Mhm.
weight.
And hello, Tammy. We're so glad you're here.
Yes, we've got lots of tips. We love interactions. If you
I'm
have
so glad to see all you new people
Yes, we've
tonight.
got a bunch of new people here tonight. Feel free to interrupt if you have any questions or comments,
Yes,
even if it's off
we don't
topic.
mind. We will change the topic and then change it right back. It's
Yep, and we'll even if we don't get through all of our stuff, we will have two-parters. So feel free to ask those questions.
mhm.
But definitely take a look or listen at some of our previous ones too. But meet us back here next week too for next session.
Yes, and another thing is it's essential to build habits instead of just chase motivation. We say all the time, you're never going to be motivated all the time.
Hmm.
Ever. Your motivation is temporary, but your habits, you can create lifelong habits, which is going to make all of this sustainable.
Absolutely. And Lydia mentioned she's at goal, which is amazing and fabulous.
Yay!
But she still tracks daily to keep her honest,
Mhm.
and that helps keep her on track, and that helps her keep her at goal weight.
I
So
love
she's
that.
using all those habits that she used to get her here to stay where she's at. And
Mhm.
I guarantee you, she's still enjoying enjoying the food that she's eating. She's not depriving herself.
Yeah.
So she's definitely taking advantage of those habits that she's built
Mhm.
over the time it took her to get to goal weight.
Yes. But everyone starts out excited, but the real challenge comes from when life gets real busy, stressful, boring, to see if you really can continue doing that thing. And then also when it is slower, when you are getting on that scale and you're seeing only half a pound or seeing only a tenth of a pound or seeing a
Mhm.
little bit of a gain from some bloat. Um, but continuing those habits that you formed in the beginning when you were so excited to start and so excited to have a change is really what's going to matter.
Yes, still these habits they'll carry you through when the motivation disappears.
Hmm.
Like for example, last week when we had a family emergency, my mom was in the hospital for a little bit. Even with that disruption and that stress and that frustration, we had our habits to fall back on. We didn't go out and binge. We didn't go out and go do a whole lot of. We did some fast food, but we kept it within our goal.
Uh-huh.
We tracked everything, even when we were not eating at home. So Tammy, the best way to get back on track is slowly,
Yeah, start
a
small.
little bit at a time. If you are into sugary beverages, kind of switch to more water, and then swap out one of your snacks for a healthier snack. But the key thing is to get back on track. That I find is still have those things that you enjoy, just have them
Mhm.
in moderation. Like Courtney, she mentioned, a million times. She loves Reese's, so she might have a really good, healthy, protein-filled yogurt bowl, but then put the Reese's on top. So
Have what you want with what you need.
exactly, have what you want with what you need, so that will help. But don't start off immediately cutting everything out. Just do things in stages. Also, when it comes to activity, if you need to get back on track with your activity, take whatever your average steps is. So let's say for me, I work at this desk 9-10 hours a day. I don't get a lot of movement in. So what I do is I take a look at my average steps per day for the past couple weeks and just try to add a little bit more to it. So
Mhm.
let's say my average is right now it's been about 5,500, so 5,500. So let's say I want to get back on track with my movement, try to up it to 6,000 and try to get 6,000 steps per day, and then
Mhm.
6,500. So just add slow
Yes.
increments to get back on track.
Yes, and with that, habit stacking is great. Start with one thing, whether it wants to be water, movement, your mindset, whatever it is. Start with that one week. The next week, add another habit, and but continue doing the other. And it's habit stacking. Just start with one thing, then add another the next week, add another the next, until you're eventually doing the things that you want to do.
Exactly, and bringing us to the next little part is some example habits that really matter that help carry you into this
Mhm.
is staying hydrated. Hydration is essential, but
Yeah.
and not only essential just for your body, but it's essential for you to keep your metabolism from slowing down too much. It also helps you not to retain a whole bunch of water to where you're bloated. So lots of water, and then also just movement.
Hmm.
Our note say so walking daily, but just movement,
Movement.
getting up, moving around. Like for me, I have a standing desk, and I need to get better in the habit of just standing. I don't have to be doing anything. I don't have to
Hmm.
be stepping or making steps or whatever. Just movement.
Hmm.
Park a little bit farther when you're going grocery shopping. Those types of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Eating protein consistently. That's something I struggle with sometimes. Like days that I don't eat as much, I don't get as much protein in. So protein, cooking at home more often because at the end of the day, if you're cooking at home, you have more control than if you're eating out and you can eat healthier. That
Mhm.
does not mean you cannot eat out. We have a whole segment on eating out.
Mhm.
But cooking at home more does help. Stopping when you get full.
Mhm.
That's something that I struggle with as a binge eater is listening to my body. I've
Mhm.
gotten a lot better about it in the past 6 years, but I still have times that I struggle, especially when it's something that like I really want. Like if we go to a buffet, if we go to Korean barbecue, it's really hard to stop when I'm full.
Mhm.
Getting enough sleep. Some people just forget about sleep. They forget that it's essential. You need to get enough sleep.
Yeah, sleep
And
helps you kind of reset. It helps your mind. It helps with your metabolism. Again, lots of things help with the metabolism, but sleep is so important. Also, sleep will help with your mental state, and
mhm,
we've talked about multiple times. Your mental state is essential to helping you stay on track, helping you with that motivation, helping you be consistent. But then also tracking your food honestly.
yes.
So there's several there's we generally don't like lying or stretching the truth, but if you're going to ever be truthful on anything, you need to be truthful to your tracker and you need to be truthful to your doctor.
Mhm.
Those kind of are really essential to ultimately be truthful to everyone, like your spouse. But on it,
Always.
tracking honestly, and then talking to your doctor and being honest to them will help be more success. If you only track um half of a donut, but you eat two or three donuts. Um,
You
on
still ate it whether it's on
on
the tracker
on
or not.
paper, you succeeded, but those calories are
Yeah.
still going to be in there, and you have probably gone over.
Mhm.
So, just making sure that you track honestly, even if you eat more than you probably should, track it so you know kind of where you're at.
Yes. And the reason that these really play into the why like slow progress matters, these habits, they don't create dramatic overnight results,
Hmm.
but compounded over months, they completely change your health. And like you'd be surprised. And then the thing is, like, take into account, like we've talked about like half a pound a week.
Hmm.
That's almost 30 pounds in a year, which is incredible.
Oh yes,
That is 150 pounds in 5 years. Like, so everything, the slow, it still adds up.
absolutely. So it's very important to make sure you have that forward momentum, even if it's two steps forward and one step back. That's still overall one
Mhm.
step forward. And you're closer to your goal. And we mentioned this before that even if I don't lose any more weight, having these habits
Mhm.
that I have are keeping me healthier.
Yeah.
They're making my heart healthier. They're lowering all kinds of health related risks.
Mhm.
Um, so that's very important to just have these
Yeah.
moments to keep you forward.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, you don't brush your teeth once for an hour a day to stay healthy forever. You need to keep brushing your teeth.
Yes.
So those are kind of an
And you
analogy
don't,
to think about.
yes, you don't do it for an hour. You just do it for what is it, like 2 or 3 minutes? I think it's 2 minutes that they technically 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it is.
Yep, a couple times a day.
Twice. But it keeps your teeth healthy. So these small the point of the analogy is these small things do add up. And yeah,
So you do small things consistently, and
consistently.
consistency. Feel like a broken record is our kind of key word for 2026. And so far, we're seeing some really good progress. Some faster progress and some slower progress, but we are seeing progress.
Mhm.
But consistency is huge.
Yes, and Susie on Instagram mentioned, I love the tracker. It makes me more aware of how much I'm overeating. I always thought I wasn't eating bad until I started tracking. I've been there.
Mhm.
I will like get something and eat it and like without tracking it, and I'll track and be like, whoa, I did not realize that was like 700 calories and it
Mhm.
was like a cookie.
But also measuring and weighing stuff. Like Courtney the other day, she mentioned having a steak, and she's like, "Oh, this looks like a decent portion." But when she put it on the
It was
scale,
like over half a
it
pound.
was a lot more than she
It was
expected
like
it to be.
700 calories worth of steak. Not even kidding.
Yes.
Delicious, but a lot.
So tracking, weighing, measuring, all those definitely will help.
Yes. And
All
with
right.
that,
So we have kind of finished, wrapped up our segment for the night, but Courtney has an amazing recipe that has an interesting ingredient that a lot of people don't tend to cook with. But I will switch it over to our recipe so Courtney can share
man,
this.
I kind of want to make this like tomorrow. Ooh, I
Yeah.
have a crock pot. You might need to make
Sounds
this
really good.
tomorrow.
But also, for future reference, these recipes will be posted on the Healthy Facebook and Instagram page, but also on the Healthy app blog too.
Mhm.
So feel free to look at our past recipes if you would like to.
Yes, and this is Diet Coke barbecue chicken. What? 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of onion powder, and any other seasonings that you want. We like the blend. And also a buttery onion. I think it's butter onion, something like that.
Mhm.
Sugar-free barbecue sauce. We like the G Hughes, but
Mhm.
you can use any barbecue sauce. If you don't care if it's sugar-free, you can use the regular barbecue sauce. And then a cup of Diet Coke. That is the secret ingredient. Add the chicken to the slow cooker, sprinkle all your seasonings over it in a small bowl, mix together the Diet Coke and the barbecue sauce, and pour the mixture over the chicken. Cook on low for 6 hours or high for 4. I suggest low. You want the chicken to fall apart and still be juicy.
And that's one of the things here is the Diet Coke is what helps the chicken be so
Yes.
tender.
Remove the chicken and shred it, and then add it back to the slow cooker and store everything together. Let it sit for a little bit and it'll thicken up a little bit. It is so good. You can do this on, you can make like a barbecue rice bowl. You can put it on tortillas. You can put it on, what are those things called that we had tonight?
Buns.
A bun.
Yes. We have Terry's Bakery has Lewis Bakery, sorry. Lewis Bakery, we found out Walmart and Publix has some really good low carb
Low
buns.
calorie, high fiber.
Yummy. But you can do quite anything with this, and it is delicious.
Yes.
So
And
she's
it's
gonna go over the
between
macros.
0 and 5 bites, depending on which plan you're on. 200 calories. It makes 8 servings. 2.4 net carbs. 35.3 grams of protein.
Look at that protein. That is so good. For something like this, if you have leftovers, have one of their servings, then add a little bit of cottage cheese and have a cottage cheese bowl.
That's
really, really,
probably
really
what I
good.
would do in the first place, because y'all know me and my cottage cheese love.
Yes, but that right there is delicious. It tastes sweet without being overly sweet, and actually has tons of protein. So feel free to let us know if you have made this. You know, our next go around. It's really
I
really
kind of
delicious.
want to see if we have the stuff to make it tomorrow.
I think we have everything except for maybe the sugar-free
We
barbecue
don't have
sauce.
sugar-free, but we have regular, and we might just have to deal with the calories because that sounds good.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to go with the regular stuff, even if it's a little bit more bites. But yes, so that is our recipe for the week. Like I mentioned, if you want to catch up some of our past ones, if you go to the Healthy App website, they're on there. Also, other coaches for healthy share recipes on there too. So if you're ever dying for a new recipe or you need something new for your routine, head over to the Healthy App website. There's our recipes, other coaches' recipes, tons and tons of options on there that can help keep you on track. But thank you so much for joining us this week, and all of our new people, we're glad to have you.
Yes.
And
We're so glad
hope you come back, and all of our regulars. We just love having you here with us. Ooh, somebody made it. Crystal made it with Dr. Pepper years ago. That sounds good. She might not like it as much.
I mean, it might be fine. I don't like Dr. Pepper,
I love
but
Dr.
like,
Pepper.
I mean, in something. I've had Dr. Pepper cake and didn't mind it. So
Yes. But that sounds good, Crystal. Thank you for that suggestion. But hit us up if you have any recipe ideas or things you would like to talk about. But we thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.